I've been blabbering on and I'm mute. Okay, so welcome back to our online classes, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today. I can see some familiar faces and names. So, again, for people who don't know me, my name is Megan, and today we're going to draw this very fun drawing over here. So, we have a fireplace in the background, a little Christmas tree, a window in the distance, and our mug of hot chocolate. And so we're going to be using our permanent markers. So if everyone's ready, without further ado, let's go on, get started. Okay, so first we'll start off with our sketch. So let's take our HB pencil and let's go ahead and draw a line coming down from the right side down towards the center of our paper. And then let's draw a line on the right coming towards the right side of the paper. So that's going to be a slanted line over there. And then let's go ahead and start from that corner and draw a straight line out. So that is our room, our side wall, the wall to the back, and our floor. And then we're going to have a table at the front of our room where our hot chocolate is. So let's follow the line at the back, parallel to that, and bring it down towards the sides. So that's our table and our wall. Let's go ahead and draw our window to the right. And again, drawing a straight line up and the line down parallel to the bottom one. So that is the sketch of our room. Let's go ahead and add the edges of our window, so our window frame on the right. Just thicken those edges. And I'm going to add another line in the center. Okay, now we can go ahead and start on our fireplace on the left. So first, let's start. So I want my fireplace to be lower than this line. So I'll just mark where I want it to end. And bring that line up on the right. Kind of roughly draw a square and finish it up on the top. And let's go ahead and draw a rectangle on the top of the square, just a long one there. It's going to be our shelf. And let's draw 3 lines going up close to the center of our fireplace. And draw a little triangle on the right corner here. Let's go ahead and erase that line on the right. Let's go ahead and sketch out our little plants on the right side. I'm drawing the leaves. I kind of made a little Christmas tree, but you can do whatever plant you want. I'm just going to make it bushy, a fluffy little Christmas tree in a pot. Fix any imperfections. Okay, after that, I'm going to go ahead and draw a line on the left in the center of our fireplace and kind of draw this little window, this opening in the center. Bring it down to the right and wiping away that line we did to mark the floor. Okay, that is where our fire will be, our flame. Let's go ahead and draw our mug in the middle. Start by drawing 2 lines coming up from the center of the table. You can draw around a mug, it's up to you, but I'm just drawing this simple one and rounding the bottom, just where it hits the table, and then wiping away anything we had from the background. Just the center here, and I'm going to round the top to form an oval shape. The body of our mug, and I'm going to add a handle just on the left side here, just a curved line, semicircle. Go ahead and erase it. Okay, I'm just going to thicken that up now. Rounding, following that first line, and that's okay. That's what it should look like. That's our mug finished. And then add any sketch of whipped cream, not whipped cream, sorry, the froth you want on the top. You could add marshmallows as well if you want on your hot chocolate. I'm just going to add some cream here and add a bit of texture throughout as well, just little short lines. Okay, that's what our sketch looks like. And maybe just lightly let's sketch out where our flame would be at the back of this mug here, going round on the left, bringing it in, creating a little sharp top, our first flame. And yours could look different as well, and I'm just copying the same line in the center, a smaller little flame. Then I'm going to do a bigger one. Again, copying the same line in the center, and to the right, I'm doing a smaller flame. So you can have 2 big flames, it's up to you. I'm just drawing 4. Three big flames. Okay, so now let's go ahead and sketch out the fireplace. So these stones we have, we can start by just the front top part here. But I'm rounding this line to form a big rock, and another one on the right. Some of them don't have to be completely round, so I'm kind of keeping that right one straighter than the left to give a sense of like all the rocks are different. And I'm kind of outlining the edge first, and then I'll do the side part on the left. And I want to do a bigger rock here on the right side. So I'm covering up this space on the right. So it comes right towards the right line. And then another stone at the bottom. I'm just kind of shaping it to fit the space it's in. It's a bit more rectangular than the ones on the top. I'm rounding the edges. Maybe keeping a rounder side on the right one. And then finishing this corner, I'm just adding another rock that is the shape of this corner on the right, straightening the top. You see, maybe straightening the top a bit more. Because that's where our slab of wood is. Shelf. Okay, maybe rounding the edge a little bit more, just until you're happy with how it looks. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start on the left side. Rounding that stone, bringing the bottom part in, and adding another one to the side. And a third one. Yours doesn't have to be as many as mine. You can work with how much space you have. So mine, I have about 4 on the left. I'm just adding that last big stone on the left. So the edges are finished. I'm going to go ahead and add the ones on the right. Adding a stone on the right corner, rounding it at the bottom. You can leave a bit of space there as well. You could always colour it with the markers when we start colouring. And I'm rounding bottom half of the stone, adding a third one. And again, just working with the space and forming the rock according to the space. So maybe if you need to make some of the rocks bigger, you can. For example, on the left side, I don't want that space on the top. So I'll just go ahead and make it a tad bigger. Maybe I'll cover up this space as well on the left. Just make it bigger and adjust accordingly. And I'm adding a last one on the left. And that's our sketch done. So we can go ahead and start with our permanent markers. Okay, I think we can start from the fireplace. That's the most exciting part. It's in the centre. Okay, let's go ahead and go in with our yellow marker first. From the centre of the flame, let's work our way slowly up and down. And I'm going to leave a bit of space towards this line in the centre of my frame. So I'm going to leave a bit of space on the edges, on the right and the left, so I can colour it in orange. I'll go ahead, colour the left one in, and the last flame on the right. If you have different shades of yellow, you could always use that as well. Just work with what you have. Or you could layer the markers, as I'm going to show now. So now I'm taking my orange and I'm just lining the outside of this yellow. And then I'll work my way out. And I'm going to layer this colour so it appears darker than the first line of orange we added. Just work with what colour markers you have, from light to dark. I'm just layering it so it looks darker. I have a darker orange, let me see. I'm going to take a darker orange and work it on the outside. It's kind of blending those colours. And then I'm going to take my yellow again and focus it on the sides in the centre to make it even darker than it was. And now we're left with a lighter centre. So just work with the markers and kind of test them out. I'm going to go in with my reds, the outer layer. Following those guidelines, just lining the outside. And maybe going in with my orange again to blend. So markers won't blend as much as pencils, obviously, but you can kind of go back and forth and see what works for you. Okay, I'm going to repeat that on my second flame. I'll take my lighter orange and work my way on the outside of that yellow. It goes darker and darker. I can blend it afterwards. And lining the outside with my darkest colour red. I'm just going back and forth with my orange, my lighter orange, and blending where the colours meet. Then going in with my yellow again to darken the edges a tad more, leave the centre brighter. Like so. And let's go ahead and start on our last flame on the right hand side. Go in with that lighter orange. And just working in the direction of what the flame, like where the flame is headed. So keeping those lines in the same direction. If it's curving to the right, then when you're using every colour, just curve the colour to the right as well. Going in with my darker orange. Sharpening the tip. And then with my reds. Okay, and then I'm going to blend with my orange first. So using the lighter colours to blend the darker colours, that really works with markers. And I'm getting my yellow again and blending to leave the centre the lightest point. Okay, that's what it should be looking like. And then we can start with the background of the fireplace. So the layer behind the flames. With this part, we're going to start from the edges in. So let's take our black, but with a lighter hand here, you could take your grey as well if you tend to have a harder grip on the pencil and you press too much. But I would advise you to get the black first and kind of work on pressing less. So I'm having a really light grip and going back and forth to build the colour. So I'm not going in heavily at first. I really just want a light wash of colour. And so here on the outer layer of the flame, I want to leave a bit of a blank space because I want it to shine. So I'm not going to go in with the black on the right on the edges of the fire. I'm working from the edge, just slowly working in, and I can just always build the colour up. But whereas if I went in with a darker colour, there's no going back. You could erase it, but you know, it's hard. So I'm just building it up on the top, working my way down to the bottom, and just leaving a bit of a blank space in between the flame and the background. I'm going to go ahead and start to darken the line, just the closest spot to where the stones are, kind of trying to achieve a fade so the colour gets lighter towards the flame. And just scribbling it. That's what we want. Darker edge and the lighter centre. Okay, and now let's take our orange, again our pencil, and work our way upwards from the flame. Let's bring that colour out, and then I'm pressing here to create a kind of shine. I'm just going up and down to create those flames. And just add a bit of different textures throughout. That's what we want. And then maybe adding a few little dots and little lines just around the flame. Keeping it dark, so I'm just pressing, going over it until I achieve the look I want. Okay, that's done. And now for my favourite part. This part's quite cool, you guys. This is where we can really see the marker do its magic, because we're going to layer and kind of, I'll just show you up close on this drawing here. You see how you can create a kind of shine just by using the marker. And so for this part, I'll start with my stone on the top. And first of all, okay, let's just start by lining the outer part of our stone and work our way in. Try to just create one layer first. So I'm just focusing on the edge. Okay, I'll just zoom in here and drawing like little circles and really seeing, just test out how the marker works first and see what happens when you just go over it a second time and the third time. And I'm going to leave a spot blank, so maybe the right side blank, not blank but lighter than the left side. So I'm not going to layer as much as I do on the left. You see how lighter that looks? So I'm going to again focus on the left. And I just find that so fun. Look how magical that is. And it adds a bit of the stone's texture as well, I think. And even darkening it a bit more. That's our first stone done. And then I'll do the same technique on the one to the right. And again, keeping the left side darker than the right. I'm working my way. I'm kind of using circle, like motions, like creating little circles. And keeping the left darker. I'm not working as much on the right side. Keeping it dark where the two stones meet, because there would be a shade just in the middle. That stone's kind of covering up the second stone to the right, and that's what we want. So yeah, it immediately adds a bit of texture, and you can really see okay, again, I'll just keep the right side darker, maybe keeping the left side lighter this time. Keeping a bit of a shine to the left. Yeah. Even though we went over it a few times, I can still see the outline of the first stone, and it appears more in front of that stone on the left. Okay, and then again, I'm working on the top where the two stones meet. Circle motions, going over it again to create a darker shade. Keeping it lighter on the right. Okay, I'm just imagining that the light is hitting the stone, and so the right side would be lighter, wouldn't it? I'm just keeping the left darker. And again. Keeping the left darker. And working my way in. Starting from the left, curving any lines. Finishing it off to the right. Okay, I'm going to start with the stone on the right side. And I'm going to keep it dark on the edge. And I'm going to keep it lighter where the fire would hit it and this angle. So the bottom half of the stone will be lighter than the top. Maybe trying to avoid any straight lines here. That's why I'm using like a circling motion. It's going to make it look more natural. And again, keeping the edge darker. Just working my way in. Trying to keep the bottom half in one layer colour. How's it going? Is anyone there? Hi Lottie, is it good? Can I see yours? Hi Emily. Is it good? Can I see yours? Great job. I see yours, Emily. Good job. How are you finding layering the markers? Is it working for you? It might be, what type of markers are you using? Maybe it's the type of, so the same as mine, like Sharpie. Yeah. Oh, okay. Could it be because, those are good, Lottie, yeah. Are those Copic or maybe different ones? Mm-hmm. what do you think the problem is, Emily? What are you struggling with? Let me try to help. Okay, so let me show you again on the blank stone here. Okay, so I'll just start. So first of all, let's just work from the outside in, right? So I'm going over it like 3 to 4 times, a lot. I'm just going over it, right? Just do that first, right? And then just work your way in slowly, doing the same technique, and then going back to the edge again to go over it one more time to make it even darker. And then again and again, I'm just going over it again and again. But the places I want to leave lighter, I'm just not going to go over them again. I'm just going to paint it once, color it in once, and just leave it there. And if I want it dark, I'm just going to go over it. Look at that. Just circling. It just takes a bit of practice as well, guys. You can just always practice, you know. I wonder why. Is it dried out maybe? It could be because the ink's dry, you know. Okay, I'm just keeping the edge darker and doing the same on the left side. Emily, just like tomorrow or the day after or whenever you're free, just practice on a blank piece of paper. I'll just show you here. Okay, so just mind that. So on a blank piece of paper, just kind of practice, draw 3 lines and go over that first line a couple times. And then for the second one, go over it twice. And then go over that one once. And just kind of work on kind of testing the pen. Okay, that'll work. And just kind of practice, and as you do it a couple times, you'll get used to it. At first, you know, it's a bit tricky, and it took me a long time, you know, to figure out some techniques, and it's just practice. I'm keeping the edges dark, working my way in. Okay, I'm working on my last stone. Finish it up. Is anyone else having any troubles? You think I can help with? Okay, so that's done. I'm just keeping the edges darker. So, okay. Go ahead, zoom out. Go ahead and colour in the slab of the wood just on top of our stones with brown. Just any shade of brown you have. And I'm just drawing straight lines from left to right. Actually, guys, I think with the Sharpie effect, it might be the paper I'm using. I just thought of it now. It's because it's not a normal A4 paper. It's a bit thicker than normal A4 paper. It's not watercolor paper, but it is closer to that. Doesn't have as much texture. Yeah. Are you using just normal A4 paper for printers? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's why. If you have watercolor paper at home as well, you can practice on that. You know how watercolor paper, one side is less textured. You can choose the less textured side. Okay, so we can always send this video to you so you can practice again on some different paper. Okay, after that's done, I'm going to take my grey again. I'm going to work on this top part, outlining the sketch first, and then colouring it, up and down motions. Maybe leaving some blank spaces as well to give it a different texture to the rocks, because I am using the same grey. If you do have a different shade of grey, you can just use that. But I'm using the same. So I don't want it to look the same texture as a rock. So I'm just doing up and down lines and leaving gaps in between. That's what it should look like. Maybe thickening up the line in the middle. Okay. Go ahead and colour our pot. Oh, I chose purple. You can go with any colour you like. The purple will contrast nicely with the green we're going to add to the tree. It's your choice. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my green colourful pencil, but not marker this time. And I'm just going to add scribbles again. It's not going to be perfect, just throughout. And I'm not going to colour my tree in too much. I just want to add a couple lines, like squiggles. They're just scribbles, up and down, curved, just like that. I want to leave it a bit blank because I'm going to go in with my Sharpies to give it a bit more colour and shine. And maybe there's like little colourful Christmas lights on it, you know, just dotting it throughout. I have my yellow Sharpie and dotting it to create these lights. And if you want to leave it like that, you could just leave it like that. But I want to add a bit of blue as well. Purple to give the illusion of colourful lights. A bit of orange. Okay. So now we can start with our mug. And I chose a green colour. Again, it's completely up to you. I'm going to start on the right side. I'm just going to line it first and then work my way in. I'm going to leave some blank spots on the top. That would be where the light is hitting it. It's colouring in. Don't worry about layering it now if it's not working. All right. There's a lot of different ways to use Sharpies anyways. It's very versatile. It's really up to you how you want to create your drawing. I'm just using straight lines on the mug first, on the left side, going up and down first, curving it at the bottom. Again, you don't have to completely colour it in, you can leave just spaces throughout. I'm curving the top, colouring it in, and then I'm just adding curved lines on the right, lining it on the right again, and just adding curved lines. And I'm not just like going ahead and just scribbling all over. Even if your marker's not layering up, you can always create these lines. It's going in the same direction. Colouring it in. How's it going? What colour have you chosen for your mug? That green. Nice. Just completing the mug. Yeah, so you don't have to colour it in completely. You can just leave those lines like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab my brown colourful pencil, choosing a lighter brown, and I'm just going to colour in my window frame in the background. And using up and down motions again, you can leave the lines visible, so don't colour it in completely, just leave those lines. And then bottom. And again, I'm not pressing too hard. I'm lightly colouring it in the middle. Then we're going to go ahead. I'm going to use a dark purple. You could use 2 shades of blue if you like, if you have 2 shades of dark blue. I'm going to go ahead, and so this part is up to you. I'm going to draw a straight line first on the bottom half of the window, and then kind of create a form of a tree that somewhat reminds you of a tree. No, it's just a blob really. It's a silhouette or like a shadow of a tree. In the distance, we don't really know what it looks like. It's very dark outside, and all we see is this blob. Just colouring it in afterwards, after I've lined it. Filling those blanks in. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my dark blue and start by lining the edge of the tree and the edges of the window. If you lined it a bit wonky, like I've done, yeah, I'm just going to fix it like that. Okay, and then continue to line edges. Just filling in any spaces left. Making it as dark as possible. Okay. Okay, maybe we could kind of darken, because I've used quite a light brown. I'm actually going to press a bit to kind of darken the frame of my window. And I'm just scribbling again, and it will give the impression of wood. If you leave some places lighter, maybe the edges darker. Okay. How's it going? Oh. Okay. Go ahead and colour in our table with our brown marker. We could use no, let's use our marker again. I'm just lining edges of the table and lining my mug. I can get a sharp edge. Just lining the mug, and then I can start colouring it in. Okay. Just colouring the right side, working my way down from the top, colouring the edges, any blank spaces I have. And working my way down. You can do the lines sideways, up and down. Colouring that in. As you guys are working on that, I'll just show you. I didn't show you because you couldn't layer right now, but for later when we do send you the video, I'll just do it now because, so you don't have to do it right now because you can't layer, but when you're watching this video back, just keep in mind these techniques. So I'm going to darken my mug edges. I'm darkening the inner part and the top. You can just watch it back and just do the same. And I'm leaving some lines up and down, create the shape, then cross-hatching, doing horizontal curved lines to get the shape of the mug. So I can see it's just curved lines. Don't worry if it's not working now, you can just rewatch it and do it. Keeping the corner darker. Okay. Are you done with your table? Maybe it's taking a bit longer. Just tell me when you're done. And you can just keep it lighter as you get to the bottom. You could always fade it out, because it's just a bit hard to colour it in, all of it in with a marker. I'm just kind of fading it out, going left and right. And just working with it. So when you can eventually layer your markers, it's going to make more sense. Kind of go over it again to create any shadow. Okay, just tell me when you're done. If you're struggling with your marker, you could always go in with your colourful pencil as well and go over it. Cover any spaces. I'm just kind of layering it where the shadow will be. A bit of colour where the shadow hits. I'm going to work on my mug a bit more. Just carry on with the table. So I know we're doing everything step by step, but sometimes you can just go back a step as well. And because after seeing the table, your mug might look lighter and you might need to fix it again. It's all okay. You know, you can just go back and forth with your drawing. Just adding any colour where I need it, just darkening the corners. Making the room darker. Okay. Is everyone okay? How's it looking? Good. Nice. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and take our grey pencil. Let's colour in the floor very lightly again. I'm just outlining the line we drew with the pencil, keeping it darker. Going left and right, kind of shade the floor. Maybe it's darker on the edges and it fades out. And the same on the left. Slightly colouring the space in. And I'm going ahead and outlining the sketch again, very lightly. Okay. And again, just lightly up and down on the wall. Maybe keeping it darker when I get closer to the fireplace. Up and down. I'm keeping it darker on the edges. And a bit of colour on the left of the plant. A little bit on the left. And bringing that colour down. And then lining again. Okay, now let's take our, if you have a light grey, you could use that, or you could always use your HB pencil as well, doesn't matter. I'm just creating this fluffy cream on the top of our drink, just scribbling. And I'm going to outline cream. Some lines I'm going to press, some lines I'm going to leave lighter. So darker on the outside. lighter with the short lines. Okay, go ahead and take our black liner. It's better if it's thinner than the markers you have, but if you just have the same, you can use that as well. I'm going to start by outlining my mug. And I'm going to curve the handle where it meets the mug. Just creating a sharper edge here to give a feel that it is closer to us so we can see it clearly. And then just outlining the top, curving any lines, adding short lines throughout as well on the top there. So I don't want to add just one like second line under the first line. I'm just adding short lines around it, curved lines again, outlining the edges, the bottom. Okay. See what else. And then let's outline our window as well, off frame. Outlining frame, give it a sharper feel. Okay, I think that's done. Maybe we do need a bit more colour. Just tweak any parts you think needs adjusting. I'm just adding a bit more colour to my cream on the top of my mug. A bit more texture maybe. So it appears clearly, and maybe adding a few more lines. Maybe darkening up the background of the fireplace. Okay, I think that's finished. How's it going? Have you finished? Yeah? Can I see everyone's drawing? Can you lift up for me? Try to see. Oh, Lottie, that's really beautiful. I love that. Oh, good job, Emily. Oh, I love your little customized mug. It's really nice. Oh, good job, you guys. Imogen, would you want to share your drawing? I'd be like, hello. Nice. You've got a little customized mug there as well. Love that. Love everyone's drawing. It looks so nice. I hope you enjoyed this class, you guys. So take care. Okay, don't forget to practice again. So we'll send you the video again so you can practice it on some different paper and really layer up the markers. Okay, so take care of yourselves. Have a nice Christmas holiday. Bye bye.